If you're not utilizing your criminal justice liaison, you should. It's a really good resource to have in your back pocket.
Without the criminal justice liaison program, we would not be able to provide the resources necessary or have the access as necessary in a rural community like ours.
I'm just a resource for the DAs, for the judges, for the inmates, for anybody within the system that needs help.
A lot of them are dealing with substance use, mental health. They ask for residential rehab. We do a lot of outpatient care, intensive outpatient for substance abuse and co-occurring disorders.
These kind of programs allow us to bring those professionals to the people who need it. I can communicate with these folks and I can talk to them, but I don't have the skill set necessary where they do. I can hand off that responsibility to people who have that training, that professional obligation, and then we can do better working together than we ever could alone.
Having somebody step out and speak up for me, they could see it in my eyes that I was broken and shattered and I needed help. If that wouldn't have happened in my life, man, my kids probably wouldn't have a father today. You know, I'd be dead.
It matters because the people are going to be coming back home at some point. Are they going to succeed or are they going to come back and repeat the crimes?
If we reach one person, that's going to reach the next person, it's going to reach the next person.
To help somebody get their GED or a job or into a treatment court or a treatment facility is invaluable to the community.
From now on, that person's lineage and generations to come are not going to know drug abuse. They have a chance to move and grow without that and not have the same problems that they've had before. That's tax dollars back in, people working, schools, everything's growing.
I feel like in this position, you're pushing for people to be a better person. And if I can help you be a better person, that makes my day.
I really get excited when it does all come together. Somebody goes and completes a program. Even if it's just one, you know, if you save one, that's pretty exciting.
I'm allowed to have an abundant, peaceful life today. And that's the best part to me, man.
Mental health concerns and substance abuse disorder is the forefront of what we are doing in corrections at this point. With all the research and new information and having a trauma-informed correctional facility, it has helped to benefit in the long term. We're no longer a place where you just push pause on your life. It's a place now where you can push pause and get a restart.
We've been there at the jails and somebody's being discharged at the same time you are, and they walk out the door and they look to this side and they look to this side and they have no idea what to do. The criminal justice liaison can step in at that point. They have a longer term relationship with somebody they've been working with. And so they're gonna know which way to turn before they walk out that door, because we have access to them while they're still incarcerated, or we have access to them while they're in court, and we can provide support, we can provide resources, we can provide the information they need to know which way to turn out that door, hopefully to keep them from coming back.
So I initially meet with that inmate inside the jail, kind of introduce myself, tell them what I'm there for. I try to meet them where their needs are.
Most of my referrals come from the public defender, so they may have an update that I'm going to be talking to them, but if they don't, I'll just say, hey, I'm Stacey Lee, I'm the criminal justice liaison. Your attorney wanted me to speak to you potentially about going to treatment instead of being in jail. Is that something that you would like to do? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes.
I see hope that there is something besides where being in jail. Most of them want help. It's finding out where to get help, how to get help, and who can help me.
I'll sit with them, I'll introduce myself, what kind of services I can offer, and then we kind of go through an assessment and try to decide what they need, what they want as far as treatment, or what we can provide.
Our criminal justice liaison is absolutely amazing. Melinda, we schedule appointments. She's in there once or twice a week, if not more. She's in there trying to discover programs and guide these folks in directions that they may be able to get some sort of assistance once they get released.
And what we do is we talk, and I have a lot of questions that I ask. And through those questions, they tell their story. I seem to draw out whatever the trauma that they've had, and they'll say to me, I've never told anybody this. And I remember that when I'm trying to find different things that will help that person.
People will cry and thank you for listening and for being there and being, nobody's ever helped me before, or I didn't think this would be available to me. And just like, of course, this is what we're here for. If this is the first time that anybody's ever invested or actually listened to them, then you do just listen to what they have to say, listen to where they came from, and try to meet them where they are. What I think that they might need is not what they want or what they're able to do.
Like, a lot of people just see the orange or red jumpsuit and they don't see the person. So being able to give them that voice and being able to help them get back on their feet and give them a reason to care and try.
Most of my time is spent on the back end. So once they get accepted and they go, then I'll do more face-to-face with them once they go to a program. I'll actually go to the programs and see them so they know they have a cheerleader, but at the same time, that I'm the person that says, look, the program manager told me you are violating these laws, these rules, and I want you to be able to stay at the program. So what can we do to fix this?
I try not to push. I let them know I understand when they do have a little setback. And I'll say, hey, that's part of it. This is difficult. You're making lots of changes, and I always pick out the things that they're doing the best in, and I always point those things out to them, and they'll say, well, you did it, and I'll say, no, you did it. And they think about that, and they're like, I did do it, and it makes a difference in your relationship.
Seeing the link between why people go down the path of crime, sometimes it is mental health related, and even drug use can be mental health related. So treating the root of the cause, to get people stable and get them on a better path, then it's a good opportunity to be able to help them and get them back on their feet.
So I really like helping people get on the right foot. A lot of times that is furloughing into a program, maybe sober living, that type of thing if they have a simple possession charge. It may be, clothes on the outside. It may be getting to a homeless shelter, if you don't have somewhere to go. Housing applications, job applications, helping them get into GD classes while they're incarcerated. So really whatever I can do to help somebody get on the right foot, I just like helping people. So I really feel like that's beneficial in any aspect of life.
I just get excited about the versatility of the program. I mean, we can kind of just make it what we want and do what we need for each individual county that we all work with.
So it gives them a resource when they have somebody that's homeless, when they have somebody with mental health conditions, when they have someone that they don't know what to do with, that they're at their wits' end. They're like, I don't know what to do with him or her. I'm a resource for them. I'm a resource they can link and say, hey, maybe Danny can help.
They have our numbers, we have theirs. So I think that they really like having a go-to person that can set up resources that day or within a couple of days or in the courtroom. We can pull them aside and do an assessment. I really think that they feel like that's an invaluable resource to have.
We work as a team. Their referral has helped this become what they wanted it to be.
I get monthly updates and I send them to a DA and I'm like, hey, so-and-so is not got any marks. They're passed all their drug screens this month. They're working 40 hours a week. They're doing counseling in church, all those things. They're like, oh, great. When you can send that remark and say, hey, they're doing well, it really makes a difference.
It's really rewarding to see an individual outside the community come up to you and say, this is my family. I'm doing really well. And hug you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Daniels. You changed my life. And it is really rewarding.
In the world of corrections, the tedium tends to hinder our officers significantly. And when it comes down to it, When you run into that individual in Walmart and you don't recognize them because they have put on weight and they look better, they have to introduce themselves to you and they want to tell you about their life, sometimes that's all the thanks you ever get. And that makes a big difference for my officers as well as myself. And of course, these individuals that are criminally justice involved.
If they can get out and get their GED while they're in jail, if they can go to a sober living program, if they can get their kids back through DCS custody and have light at the end of the tunnel, maybe they won't come back to jail. If they can work on themselves while they're in jail and work on themselves for a little while outside, maybe they won't end up back where they were. Maybe they'll fix those things.
You know, property crimes cost people money. It costs people money to, you know, for them to go through the court system. And it costs the family of that person a lot of pain and suffering. It's not just a dollar and cents thing, but it is a community thing. It affects the community. If you have one person that's working, they're paying their child support, they're taking care of their family, they're paying their court costs, and then at some point, maybe they get expunged. They can vote, they can do all the things, drive, all the things that you and I do. And none of us are too good that we couldn't make one bad decision today and be the same person that's sitting across the desk from me.
The forefront of law enforcement is going to be mental health concerns. Deputies and city cops and THP, they all can do their part in that aspect, but in corrections, we have time with these folks. And it's our job to make sure that we are making an exponential growth in that positive conduct, because one positive conduct leads to positive interactions when they get out of the facility. That's how we better our communities. Again, we wouldn't have the resources without the Criminal Justice Liaison Program.